You know, the Book of Revelation, it's probably one of the most mysterious, most debated books ever written. It's just filled with these symbols that have puzzled people for centuries. But what if the key to understanding its timeline is actually hidden right there in the book itself? What if there's a roadmap waiting to be read? And that really is the big question, isn't it? How do you even begin to find a clear path through a text that's so dense and symbolic? Well, the idea we're diving into here is that the answer isn't about decoding every single symbol one by one, but about finding the book's own internal structure, its roadmap. So, here's the core idea we're exploring. The seven seals aren't just one piece of the puzzle. According to this view, they are the master framework for the entire prophecy. Think of them like a table of contents for everything that is about to happen. And this right here lays out the sequence perfectly. It's presented as this incredible chain reaction. First, you have the seven seals that kick off the timeline. Then, it's the opening of the seventh seal that actually triggers the seven trumpets. And then, you guessed it, the seventh trumpet unleashes the seven bowls of judgment. It all starts with the seals. Okay, so let's dig into that first step. The first four seals unleash four of the most iconic and frankly terrifying figures in all of prophecy. The four horsemen, and each one represents a very distinct phase of what's to come. And right off the bat, we run into a really fascinating departure from the common interpretation. See, a lot of people believe this first rider on the white horse represents the Antichrist, but the framework we're looking at today argues for something totally different, that this rider actually symbolizes 144,000 missionaries who are sent to preach before the worst of the end times really begins. Next up, the second seal is opened, and out comes this fiery red horse, whose rider is given the power to take all peace from the earth. In this interpretation, this isn't just any war, it's a catastrophic world war, sometimes called the War of the Euphrates, that plunges the entire globe into conflict. And the scale of this conflict is just staggering. The prophecy says that it will lead to the death of 1/3 of all humanity. Let that sink in. This is no regional skirmish. We're talking about a global catastrophe that would completely reshape the world as we know it. After war, of course, comes famine. The third seal reveals a black horse, and its rider is holding a pair of scales. This symbolizes extreme scarcity. I mean, imagine a world where a full day's wages buys you just one meal. This crisis then becomes the perfect tool for a global power to enforce total economic control over everyone. And then the fourth seal unleashes the final, most terrifying horseman, a pale horse whose rider is explicitly named Death. This represents the climax of all the previous disasters, paving the way for the rise of the Antichrist, the beast, who rules through the very sword, famine, and plague that the other horsemen brought with them. Okay, so after all that chaos on Earth with the four horsemen, the perspective suddenly shifts. It's like the camera pans up from Earth to the heavens. The next two seals pull back the curtain on the spiritual and cosmic side of all these events, focusing squarely on divine justice. When the fifth seal is opened, we don't see another disaster on Earth. Instead, we hear this powerful, haunting cry. It's coming from the souls of martyrs under God's altar, people who were killed because of their faith, and they're pleading for justice, asking when the wrongs of the world will finally be made right. And the answer they get is absolutely crucial to this whole timeline. They're told to wait just a little longer until the number of their fellow believers who are also to be martyred is completed. Now, this interpretation connects that number directly back to the 144,000 missionaries from the first seal. It suggests their mission is the final trigger for the next phase of judgment. So once that number is complete, the sixth seal is finally opened. And this isn't another war or famine. According to this view, this is it, the final, physical, catastrophic judgment of the planet itself. The description of what happens during the sixth seal is just total cosmic upheaval. The very foundations of the world are shaken. We're talking about a massive earthquake, the sun going dark, the moon turning blood red, stars falling from the sky, even mountains and islands are moved. It depicts a complete unmaking of the natural order. So, we've gone through 6 seals, each bringing escalating chaos. The 7th seal, though, is different. It's not another disaster. It's more like a trigger for everything that happens next. Think of the 7th seal as a bridge. When it's opened, there's this dramatic silence in heaven, and that silence is what breaks to prepare for the next massive set of judgments, the 7 trumpets. So in essence, the 7th seal is the key that unlocks the entire next chapter of the prophecy.
And that's what brings this whole idea together. The seals aren't just the beginning, they're the master plan. They contain and launch everything else that follows. The seals trigger the trumpets, and the trumpets trigger the bowls. It's one long, continuous story, and the seals are the key that starts the whole engine. So, if the 7 seals really are the roadmap, what does that tell us? It suggests that what looks like random, terrifying chaos might actually be a structured, sequential story. It's a map that doesn't just show the final destination, but details every single turn along the way.